Good evening, guys. This is Joe from HAL, one of the new members of the forum, and this is the obviously the quarter scale Hanger 9 Cub. And I thought I'd take in a little tour here with my new little Aptec HD camera, see how this works out. On the front here we have an RCG 26cc, which has about 3 tanks of fuel through it. The plane does have one flight, and it was a little bit tail heavy, so I've added, since that first flight, I've added some weights around the perimeter of the firewall on the 3 sides. And if I need additional weights, I can add them right above the ignition. Ignition is mounted typically as seen right the bottom of the firewall with ties, and buffered from the firewall with some tape on actually the 4 corners. I thought maybe leaving some circulation between the firewall and the ignition might help. So don't know if you can see that very well, but that's the setup there. And because it's a rear mounted carb, I had to cut a bit of a hole in the firewall to get the carburetor back there, which wasn't really that bad. The engine cowling is under the plane, has not been cut yet except for one spot, and I'm going to need to do that to fit it around the muffler here, which is going to cut out quite a bit of the left side of the cowl, but really shouldn't be too bad to do. And I'll probably do that sometime in the next month or so. I'm in no hurry to put a cowling on there, let the engine run in the free air for a while until it breaks in. Like I said, it's only got about 3 tanks of fuel in it. But so that's the front end. Put some couple of 6-inch Tundra tires. These are not the air-filled tires. These are Dubro's foam tires. I'm sure they're a little sturdier than your typical air-filled tires, but they seem to do a fairly decent job. On the inside, on the instrument panel, because it was a rear-mounted carb, I was able to put the choke right there and with the inside underneath the instrument panel, so that helps things look a little more realistic. And on the other side there we have the ignition light on the Optio kill switch, which I'm going to move and also probably mount up towards the instrument panel somewhere. The fuel tank, which is a little odd looking, was it's a 14-ounce tank. Kind of had to tilt it in there, angle it in to get it past the carburetor. It's a temporary setup. It's pretty much surrounded with foam, just to allow me to get some run time and some flights in. I will have to make other arrangements in the next couple of months. Probably do that over the winter. See if I can neaten up the front end there a little bit. And then as we go to the back of the plane, about the only other change that I've made so far is after running a couple of engine startups with for break-in, one of the struts on the tail broke. So what I did was ordered some Sullivan flying wire, and that seems to do a nice job. I've had a flight on it, and everything held steady. And of course that's on all 4 axes there, top and bottom, and that worked out very well. So there's a couple other of my aircraft down here in the basement, which I've kind of taken over. Some in various stages of completion. That's a giant scale P-47, and there's the wings for the Cub. I didn't use the pins that came for the struts. I used half-inch or quarter, I think it was half-inch bolts to go in there. If I need to store them, I could take the bolts out and fold down the struts. And I do the same thing when I attach the wings and the struts to the body. Is I use bolts. I don't use the pins. I just didn't like the idea of seeing those things flapping around and causing, some vibration and some wear. I kind of like the, being able to tighten things down. So there you go, just a quick tour. Running Exor 17.8 right now, and once I get the engine broken in, I will change that to an 18.6, which I have here. Beautiful looking prop, and unbelievably they balanced out perfectly without me having to do anything. So very nice props. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the little show here, and maybe we'll see you up there in the air. See you guys.